Okay, everybody, here we go. The name of this session is Fast and Furious. Now, what's going to be important about this session is not only that we do each of these activities, but within each of these activities, you have to be constantly posing the question to the players: what decisions are you making here? What are the choices that you are making? What are you observing? What is working? What are the things that are allowing you to be successful? We don't want the players to just exist on the field. We want them to be thinking about what is happening out there. We want them to be strategizing. We want them to be making observations about what is effective, what is not effective. We want them to be thinkers of the game. So the very first one is race and finish. So here is your very simple setup. So 2 lines of players, each of them will need a ball, cones for them to stand behind, cones out here. Now these cones, I have these cones here, just enough room where if I was the coach, I would be standing right here in between them. So these cones are 3 yards apart. These lines, again, just enough room for me to stand in between them. These cones out here are about 12 yards out in front of me, 10 to 12 yards out in front of me. These out here are our pug goals, these blue pug goals. These things are probably, I don't know, 10 yards apart. So on my command, when I say go, these 2 players are just going to race. So they're just going to, at the same time, they're going to try to dribble out and around these cones. It is just a race to see how fast you can get around these cones and get back here to score a goal. Now, when you're doing this, obviously it is a race, so they're going to try to go as fast as possible. So we're looking for high repetitions. So everybody should be ready to go the second that they have taken their shots. You can send the next 2. So this needs to be rapid fire, needs to be fast. When you ask them what are the decisions that you're making here, you want to see what they give you, and they will all have ideas about this. The answers they will probably give you are, which of these cones do you dribble around? Because you're not going to specify which cone they dribble around. If this player starts to dribble and they lose control of their ball here, it's fine if they go around that one. You don't care. The objective here for them is to be fast and furious, right? So go fast. They get to decide which goal they're going to try to score on. And what the clever ones will decide is, if I'm playing, if I'm this player and I notice that this guy is in front of me, when do I shoot? Because if he's going to dribble up here close, if I'm behind, maybe I'm going to shoot from further away, because the objective is to get my ball in that goal faster than they do. So that is another decision that they're going to have to make, and that's going to be a calculated risk for them. Obviously, it's easier to score if you're up closer, but if you're behind, you might not have a choice but to shoot from further away. The risk being, obviously, it's harder to score from further away. So calculated risk for them to be making. So they're going to have to decide these things for themselves. The next activity here, that you guys get to have a lot of fun with this one. This is race, find, and finish. So the find part, when you're standing here, you're going to have another cone in your hands. So you'll say go, same exact thing. These players are going to take off dribbling around this cone. At some point here, when their backs are to you and they're dribbling, you are going to throw another cone out here somewhere, anywhere, right? So wherever that cone is, these players are then going to have to go around that cone as well before they can get to that goal. So it doesn't really matter how they go around it. What we're trying to condition them to do is, once they have turned that corner, we just want them to have to lift their head and look and see. We just want one other action out of it. And it makes these races, it makes these games fun just because it adds one more element, right? Again, it just applies a little bit of pressure, because if the player here with the red soccer ball is a little bit ahead, if they turn that corner and then lose control of their ball, and the yellow player turns this perfectly, it might give them the opportunity to get out in front while the red player or the player with the red ball has to recover it, right? So it just adds a little bit extra to it. So when you ask them, all right, what are the decisions that you're making here? Again, right? See what they come up with, right? They will probably give you something like you'll have to decide again which cone to go around, which goal to go around, but maybe when do you look, right? Do I try to look and spot where that cone is before? Like, do I try to look over my shoulder to see where you've thrown it? Because maybe you'll throw it way out here. Maybe you'll drop it up here close. Maybe you'll throw it right behind him. Maybe you'll put it right in the middle, right? You can change that up every time. You can be tricksy with it. You can have some fun with it. Maybe they'll have to decide which type of turn to use. So they can try to gain some sort of advantage to get back there quickly. So again, you're constantly referencing. We are not just doing the activities. We are thinking, right? We're making observations. We're being sneaky. We're being clever. What are the decisions we are making here? What choices are you making while you play? Obviously, after you throw that cone, you're going to have to retrieve it every time. Not that big a deal, but toss that cone out. Have some fun with it. So next round, race and chase. This one is epic. This one's really, really fun. So what you're going to do this time is the players in this line no longer need a ball. You're going to take this cone and you're going to move it back further. Now, there's going to be a little bit of guesswork. When I did this the other day, the first time I moved this cone back too far, so I had to move it up a little bit. The first time I moved it up too close, so I had to adjust a little bit till I found it perfectly right. So these players still 3, 2, 1, go. They are just racing around this cone and trying to score. They can go to either goal, right? What these players are doing without a ball is they get to leave at the same time, but they get to sprint without a ball. They're going to try to race around this cone, and they're going to come try to catch them. They're going to come see if they can either block that shot, or better yet, can they steal the ball and go score their own goal. Now, you don't want somebody to defend every single time. You don't want somebody to attack every single time. So after every round, they will just trade lines. So I was just the chaser. Now I will get a ball, come into this line. I was just dribbling. So now I get to chase somebody down. I'll come into this one. So this one is called race and chase. Again, what are the decisions you are making here, right? And a big one for this is going to be if I am the attacker and I turn that corner and I can feel that defender on my back, do I continue to try to outrun him here, or do I feel that pressure and cut across them so I can keep them on my back and maybe I can escape away to that other goal? And if I'm making that decision, how did I make that decision, and when did I know, right? When did I know the moment to do it, right? What were the cues? What were the things that led me to that decision? Next one, 1v1s to either goal. So for this one, you will bring your cone back up here. You will then pick this cone. You'll pick these two cones up. You can just put them on top of each other. So you just need one line here now, right? What I do is I just pick one cone up, put it on top of the other, right? I will then send a couple of players here. Just make a new line there. I guess in this case, since I have 6 players on the board, you can just do 3 and 3. Everybody here will need a ball. These players will not. So, if the passing part proves difficult, if you're doing this with 5v5, if the passing part proves difficult, in fact, don't even worry about passing it. If you're doing the 5v5 players, just let these players start with the ball and just let them dribble it out. If you're doing this with 7v7 teams, let them pass the ball out, but pause them, right? So don't let them pass the ball and travel as the ball is traveling, because we might just constantly have a jam up in a car crash right here and the gameplay doesn't begin. Let them pass it, but they cannot come and apply pressure until their first touch. So again, it's just a 1v1. This player can go to either goal, right? If the defender can block their shot, great. Better yet, can they steal the ball away from them and then score their own goal? When you're posing the question here, what are the decisions that you're making, right, should be simple for them. Which goal am I going to attack? How do I know, like, how do I make that decision? How do I decide which goal I'm going to go to? What are the things I'm reading on the field? What are the cues that are guiding me towards that decision? And then the last one, if you make it this far, these early sessions, while we're here in the evaluation phase and our practices are cut down, you might not make it to this last one. If we're doing this more in the regular season, you have your full hour. Here's the last progression, right? Remove the pug goals. Right? Obviously, my magnets are bigger than my board here, but put a goalkeeper in the goal, right? Put your defenders on a post with the ball. Put your attacking line, continue to change it, right? At the start, put it out here, straightforward, right in the middle where it's easy. Right, pass the ball out, same exact thing, 1v1 to goal, but now it's more fun because you're trying to finish on the big goal, and you've got a goalkeeper to try to beat. They are trading lines every time. Excuse me. Once you've had a bunch of repetitions here, move this attacking line. What happens now if you put it on an angle out here, and now the attackers have to come from here, right? Obviously now they're going to have to attack at an angle, a diagonal. They're gonna have to try to fight their way into the middle, because maybe if they escape here, even if they beat them, there's no angle to shoot. And right, they're a little bit closer, so that pressure might be on you a little bit faster. Once you've done a bunch of repetitions there, what if you move that cone way out here? Now they're still on the diagonal, but that pressure is going to come to you a little bit slower. But now also a bunch of our players are right-footed, so now maybe when you win your way in here, right, you've had more time to do it, you've gotten in the middle, but maybe that ball is now on your left foot, and it's a little bit trickier to try to finish it. So again, just constantly referencing what are the decisions you are making here? What are the variables? What are the choices? What are you noticing? What are you observing? So this is our fast and furious session. Number 1, race around the cones and finish. Number 2, race, find the cone and finish. 3, race and chase, put one of those cones further away. One player does not have the ball. They just get to run around the farther cone and try to chase them down. Number 4, 1v1 to either of the wide pug goals. Number 5, 1v1 to the big goal with a goalkeeper. Have some fun.